Parents come to me all the time, ask me how I can help their teenager or young adult kid have a healthier relationship with their digital media devices, such as smartphones, iPad, social media, video games. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 biggest dangers of how social media, digital media devices and social media consumption, how such activities are actually affecting your children on a daily basis. And in this video, I'm not even going to talk about common sense knowledge, such as how social media is affecting young people's mental health. I feel like that is something everybody kind of knows, we talk a lot about. So I'm not going to waste your time to discuss that. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 reasons that most parents do not really know, but if you do not take care of those 3 reasons, your children's future will be compromised. Those 3 reasons are what I discovered after working with young people at a very deep level over the last 20 years. And my hope is that as you watch me explaining those 3 reasons, that you can discover and figure out some solution that you can implement on a daily basis to help your kid have a healthier relationship with their digital media devices. So who am I to talk about this topic? My name is Dr. AI, and I'm an award-winning professor turned life coach. I specialize in working with teenagers and young adults, helping them overcome procrastination, overcoming screen addiction, enhancing their executive functioning skills, overcoming self-doubt, learning to step outside their comfort zone so that they can reclaim and elevate their confidence and motivation so that your kid can achieve success in school and beyond, like internships, extracurricular activities. I'm really passionate about my job. So let's talk about today's training topic. How is social media affecting your children? And 3 big dangers. So the very first one, how social media, digital media consumption is affecting your children. The number 1 is that if a young person is spending lots of time engaging in social media, TikTok, video activities on a daily basis, those activities are literally rewiring your children's brain as they engage in those activities right now. Okay, so I have this here. So constantly engaging in social media, video game, digital media content activities is literally rewiring your children's brain in terms of their ability to focus. This is especially the case if you know for a young person, their thinking brain, which is the part of the brain that is in charge of focus, in charge of motivation, that part of the brain is not fully developed until a young person is 20 to 25 years old. So given that their brain is not fully developed yet, and then you start to introduce all of those digital media platforms, it is definitely going to hinder their brain development. And that is exactly what we're talking about here. So to really help you understand this point, I'm going to share with you 2 very interesting studies to show you how social media activities are actually affecting your children's ability to focus and concentrate. So the very first study is from this book. And meanwhile, let me know in the chat box if you have a teenager or young adult kid, how much time your kid is spending on their digital media devices. Like, I'm really curious. So the very first study is from this book. The Anxious Generation, one of my favorite books that I read last year. So in this book, on page, if you have the book, I'm talking about page 128. So on this page, the author shared a very interesting study. So they want to see how exposure to a smartphone is affecting a young person's ability to focus and concentrate. So what they did is that they created 3 different scenarios. In the very first scenario, so they have the phone, the smartphone in a bag, and then they have the bag in a different classroom. The second scenario is that they have the phone in a pocket and carried on a student's body. Like for me, for example, I have a pocket here. I put the phone in my pocket, so I'm carrying the phone on my body. The third scenario is that they have the phone on the desk next to the student. And then they examined the student's ability to memorize something, to engage in problem solving. So kind of to evaluate them. And guess what? So among the three groups, the group of the student that performed the best is the group of students whose smartphones are actually in a bag. The bag is in a different room. So literally the phone is out of sight. It's in a different room. The group of students who performed the worst are the students whose phone is actually on the desk. So even though the young person is not looking at the phone, the mere exposure to the phone is actually affecting the young person's ability to focus and concentrate. So when I saw the study, I was like, what? That is so many young people, right? They literally let me know if this is your children or maybe this is yourself. Like how many of us, we work and then we have our phone on the desk. So the mere exposure to the phone is already affecting young people's ability to focus. And I will never forget, last year I worked very closely with a young lady. She's super, super smart. And she shared something with me that I was just like, oh man. So she came back home around 4:30 p.m.-ish every single day. So between 4:30 p.m. and 11:30 p.m., so until she went to sleep, that is 7 hours. So she literally spent 7 hours every single day on a daily basis debating, should I be on my phone? Should I study? Should I be on my phone? Should I study? And by the time she was like, okay, come on, let's be serious. I really need to study. She was way too exhausted to study because she literally wasted all of her mental power and capacity trying to debate with herself, should I be on my phone or should I study? Research has shown that willpower will be depleted by the end of the day. For many of you, that is the time your children come back home and start doing homework. So their willpower is already depleted, and then you have a phone on the table, right? So my recommendation for you is that create a distraction-free environment. And that's exactly what I do with all the students in my coaching program. I work with every single kid to help them create a distraction-free environment that makes sense to the student. Everyone is distracted by different things. Some students, most of them is the smartphone, but for some other kids can be coffee, donuts, bugs, whatever. So the key is that learn to discipline the environment, learn to create a distraction-free environment so that it is easier for your kid to focus. So that is the very first study. And the second study is actually from another book. So let me know if you read the book. Again, I will link the books in the description box. Hidden Potential. So in this book, on page 96, and talks about another very interesting study. So they want to research the level of contrast between two activities. And their conclusion is that the higher the contrast, the more mistake a person is likely to make in the more boring and tedious task. So let me give you an example. So for example, your kid comes back home, they have some math homework. So instead of directly start working on their math homework, they'll be like, you know what? I'm going to watch some TikTok videos. I'm going to watch some YouTube videos. They spend half an hour on their smartphone. And because those YouTube videos, social media, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever they do, they are so fun, they are so stimulating. So there's a very high level of contrast between their social media activity and the math homework. So the higher the contrast, the harder it is for your kid to actually focus on the math homework. And if they do focus, they are more likely to make more mistakes when they are doing the math homework, simply because of the high level of contrast between the social media activity and the video, right? That's pretty crazy. Again, that is what most young people are doing on a daily basis. Again, let me know in the chat box if this is what your children are doing. They'll be social media first, YouTube first, TV first, and then homework second. So here's my recommendation. If, of course, the ideal situation is that your kid comes back home, do homework, right? If they can't do that, the ideal situation, or if you have a younger kid or older kid, they actually need to do series, like maybe apply to jobs or earning some industry certifications. So here's my recommendation. So before they start working on the series task, like job application, internship application, homework, so if your kid has to engage in social media activities, create a transition routine. In other words, right after their digital media activity, do not start working on the serious task right away. Because even if your kid starts right away, they are not going to do a good job. They are really going to have a hard time. Like, come on, brain, I can't focus. They are really going to have a hard time. So create a transition routine. Give your kid at least 10 minutes for their brain to readjust from a super engaging activity to a more boring and tedious, maybe even stressful task. And my favorite activity for the transition routine is physical exercise. They can do some jumping jacks, they can do some run or take a quick walk, spend some time in nature, or have a conversation with you. All of those activities can help their brain readjust to a more serious task. Okay, so that is the very first danger that many parents do not understand or not aware of, is engaging in such activities will actually rewire your children's brain in terms of their ability to focus and concentrate. And I give you two powerful studies to illustrate this point. And I also give you some pretty effective strategies and solutions. All of those strategies I tested on my current students that work like a miracle. Okay, so let's talk about the second danger, and the second danger of social media consumption and how such activities are affecting your children's brain is this. Ooh. I love adding some sound effect. Okay, so the second one is that the more your kid enjoys spending time on their digital media devices, the more they will get used to in the moment and instant gratification. In the moment, instant gratification. In other words, for activities that have a delay in terms of gratification, your kid will have a hard time to engage in the activity. So in other words, because we are so used to in the moment, right? I'm not feeling happy right now. I literally use my phone. I saw a very cute cat video or dog video. Now I feel good. At least in the moment, right? And so we're used to, I'm not feeling good. We're used to in the moment, like the moment that I engage in the activity, the moment I'm looking at my TikTok right now is also the very moment that I'm like, this is so funny. It is also the moment that I feel good. So why is this bad? The reason this is really bad, two reasons. Number one is that your children will actually develop a very high level. Okay, sorry, I take it back. The reason this is bad is that your children will actually develop a very low, not high, okay? I misspoke. Low level of tolerance for discomfort. Because they are not used to, they're so used to in the moment gratification, anything that does not give your kid in the moment gratification, they're like, what is this? They're not used to that. They're not used to wait for a long time and to feel good. So in other words, they have a very low tolerance for discomfort. If I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now, I don't want to do this, right? And that is number one. The second one that this is bad is that constant social media consumption, engaging in media activities is going to create a combination. And this combination is absolutely going to affect your children's future. So what is this combination I'm talking about? The combination is effortless and dopamine release. For those of you who are not familiar with the concept of dopamine, you can think of dopamine as this feeling good, pleasure feeling, like feeling good. The activity, I do this activity, I feel good. Okay, so social media, long-term usage of social media, digital media, TikTok, social media, video games, this type of activity creates a combination of effortless and dopamine release. What this means is that, as I mentioned earlier, right, I'm not feeling good. I'm having a really bad day, but now I'm watching like a really funny TikTok video. And the moment I'm watching this video, I laugh. I'm like, oh, I'm already feeling better. But to watch the video, I don't have to invest in any effort. Unlike going outside to work out, I have to sweat, I have to change my clothes, or take a walk. I have to actually walk. So social media is different. I spend zero effort. That's why it is effortless. I spend zero effort, but I feel the joy. I feel the pleasure. I feel the dopamine. This combination is so bad because this combination, listen carefully, this combination cannot be applied to real life. In real life, everything you do, you have to invest in effort. Oftentimes, even after you invest in effort, there's no pleasure, there's no immediate dopamine release. Right? Like me, I'm recording this video, I'm investing in my equipment, makeup, trying to look nice, my time, and I have an outline here. I invest a lot in this video, but I don't know, 1 person, 5 people, I thank you for watching my video. I have no idea how many people are going to watch this video, but let me tell you, like it is a long journey in order for me to feel the dopamine, to feel the pleasure, the sensors, right? The pleasure sensor in my body. There is that delay. The moment I engage in setting up my technology, setting up my equipment, the moment I engage in creating my outline, I don't have any dopamine release. I just do the work. So there's a very long delay between me outlining the video, scripting the video, recording the video, releasing the video, and actually having some people comment, like say something, give me some feedback about the video. There's that long delay. So if your kid is used to effortless, no effort, and dopamine, your children are not going to engage in activities that actually have a long delay. This is so bad because everything in life has that long delay in terms of gratification. This is why your kid is having a hard time. Let me know if I'm correct. Is having a hard time to read a book because the moment I open my book, right? I open my book. Where's that dopamine? Where's that pleasure? No. Like I may have to read quite a few pages or until the end of the book to feel something good, right? The moment I start cleaning my house, I don't feel that dopamine. The moment I start doing my homework, I don't feel that dopamine. I don't feel that pleasure. The moment I start to prepare for my exam, I don't. You may have to wait for 7 days, a whole month until you know, okay, did I get an A or did I get a B? Job application. You may have to wait until a month, 2 months, or half a year until you hear some feedback. So that long delay. So the more your kid is used to this effortless and feeling good combination, the less likely your kid is going to be prepared for real life. So that is why this is so bad. And with technology, right? Technology is designed to be so stimulating. Nobody, when they watch a TikTok video or YouTube shorts, they will be like, come on, brain, let's focus. Don't focus. No, you don't have to. You don't have to do that. Why? Even if your kid has ADHD whatever conditions they have, they don't have to work so hard to focus on the video. Why? Because the technology is doing the work. The technology is doing the focus. The technology is designed in a way that you don't have to spend any effort and you can feel the good dopamine release. Okay? And that is the second point. Let me know if you are getting value, if this is making sense. And this is pretty bad. The second point is what most parents are not understanding. And this helps you understand why we have so many young people stop reading books. This is why. We have so many young people who don't even want to go to school. Now that, I also agree the education model is quite broken, but the education model has now changed for a few decades. Then why all of a sudden we have so many young people who don't want to go to school? Because it is too hard. They are now used to the long delay between effort and gratification. So last but not least, the third point is what concerns me the most, especially for boys. Pay attention. I saved the best for the last. So the third danger as a result of social media, digital media consumption is that your children, their brain is still developing. And this is for anyone, okay? But it is especially the case because young person, their brain is still developing. So the more social media, digital media content they consume, the more their brain is going to enter a phase that their brain is going to become desensitized. It's going to enter that numb state. So for example, let me know if this is already happening to your children right now. So for example, maybe in the early days of their social media journey or video game journey, they come home or after work, they spend 1 hour playing video games and they feel pretty good. I feel really relaxed. I feel really good. 1 hour. But as they continue on this journey, 1 hour is not going to be enough. They will need 2 hours to feel good. And then they continue to play on a daily basis, a few hours every single day. And then they will need 3 hours. And then they will need 4 hours. Then their brain, our human brain is so good at adaptation. Our brain will get used to that feeling. Then you will need more and more and more and more and more and more to feel good. But you can see this is a recipe for disaster. So very soon you will discover that your kid is not attending any college level classes. They're literally hiding in their dorm, binge watching social media game, video game, whatever they do. Because they will need more and more and more to feel the joy that they initially felt when they just started playing video games, because their brain has become desensitized to the level of pleasure that 1 hour, 2 hours of video game, social media consumption is bringing to them. So why is this so bad? This is so bad because as your children's brain becomes so desensitized, really enter that numb state, two things happen. They enter this phase, brain rot. That's why I'm not surprised brain rot is actually the word of the year in 2024. That is what's happening to 99% of the population. But now because you are watching this video, thank you so much. And so that is number one. The second one is that because your kid is spending so much time, their brain is overly stimulated, right? And what happens is that because they spend so much time doing those social media highly stimulating activities, so everything outside the digital media space feels incredibly boring. Like nothing else in life feels exciting to your kid if they spend so much time playing video games, consuming social media. Because real life is not like we cannot gamify this, we cannot gamify that. When I cook a meal, it is a tedious process. I chop, I cook. There's no, I cook my dish, nobody said, whoo, there's a little anime came out, there's a song, there's got a flower. No, I don't get constantly stimulated as a result of engaging in daily activities. After I read a book, I feel good, but I don't get any external stimuli, like, the things you get from playing video games, or I don't get a heart, I don't get a reshare. I just do my thing. But if your kid is really used to social media stimulation, real life becomes so boring to your kid. And this concerns me the most, because the more digital media, the more exciting digital media becomes, the less engaging real life becomes. And as a result of that, young people become disengaged from real life. This is a common pattern that I am observing in young men. That's why I said this is what concerns me the most, especially for boys. I myself have worked with lots of young men who fall into this category. Social media, video games, whatever they do online has met all of their emotional needs. They don't feel the need to go outside. They don't even feel the need to date anyone anymore. Because when you date someone, you have to go outside, you have to spend money, you have to ask for someone out, and you may be rejected. Going back to the second point, they also have a low tolerance for discomfort. I don't know how to handle that rejection. I don't know what to do about it. So how about I just do not ask for anyone out? And again, data has shown this. Like, we have fewer and fewer young people falling in love, dating each other. Everything's happening online. This really, really concerns me. And the longer your kid, if you have a young adult, like already graduated from college, they are kind of spending so much time, the more time they spend on their digital media devices, the more likely they are not going to look for jobs. They are going to, especially for boys, they are going to isolate themselves in a room, playing video games, like kind of not talking to real life. And that is going to destroy their future, guaranteed. We may, as parents, we may be able to take care of them until they are 35, but at some point we are going to die. Like, they don't even have the ability, tolerance for discomfort. Real life is hard. Real life, you don't have that instant gratification. You have to wait. For most people who get paid, you have to wait for 14 days or a whole month to be paid, right? You will wait for at least 30 days to receive a paycheck, or like 10 days, 14 days to receive. So there's that delay. So you can see why the third one is what concerns me the most regarding social media danger. And this is exactly why I'm really inspired to share this video with you. And I hope you gained some inspiration regarding the danger of social media and how such activities are actually affecting your children. If you are interested in having your kid work with me one-on-one to really help them overcome those challenges, to actually build up their tolerance for discomfort, to actually create a healthier relationship with their digital media devices, I recommend you reach out to me. Use the link in the description box to book a you have to apply first, and then book a complimentary consultation with me. You and I will speak one-on-one, and I will be the person personally reviewing your application. So in that consultation, I will listen carefully to you, describing your children's challenges, and I will give you customized feedback regarding how to help your kid. So if this is what you are interested in, having your kid work with me one-on-one, so take advantage of this complimentary consultation and apply to book a call with me. Okay. I'm very excited to share with you, I'm getting ready to do a 5-day live master class. If you are interested in joining the master class, I don't know the date yet. But if you are interested in learning more about the master class, so again, in the description box, there's a link for you to register for the master class. Once you register, you will be updated. You'll be the first person to know when I do the live master class. And it is a great master class. Hundreds of parents have attended that class and they all loved it. Okay, I don't want you to miss it. So thank you so much for watching this video. And I hope Let me know in the chat box which one of the three dangers resonated the most with you. And let me know also what are some of your biggest concerns regarding social media, digital media devices, and how they are affecting your children. And if there are specific topics you want me to cover related to teenager and young adults, confidence, motivation, let me know in the chat box. I will be more than happy to do another video. And if you are here, thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. And you should definitely check out this video because YouTube